Back now to President Biden. Today, he signed executive orders on gun control. This comes in the wake of recent mass shootings, including the 5 people killed yesterday by a former player in the NFL. President Biden says that gun violence is a, quote, public health epidemic. Our political reporter Greg Lee here now with details on how all of this could affect California. Greg?
Frank, good evening. Those recent mass shootings have only added to the pressure on President Biden to act. He said these first steps were just a start and called on Congress to take further steps.
Enough prayers. Time for some action.
With federal measures stalled in the Senate, President Joe Biden announced his first executive actions on gun control. The move comes in the wake of mass shootings in Georgia, Colorado, Orange County, and now South Carolina.
Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
The action that could have the biggest impact, a plan to limit the sale and spread of so-called ghost guns. The do-it-yourself kits lack serial numbers, making them untraceable.
I want to see these kits treated as firearms under the Gun Control Act, which is going to require that the seller and manufacturers make the key parts with serial numbers and run background checks on the buyers when they walk in to buy that package.
Starting in 2024 in California, all gun parts have to be sold through a licensed gun dealer and require a background check. Biden also wants to see tighter restrictions on a stabilizing brace that can be placed on a pistol to turn it into a short-barreled rifle, a device he said the alleged Boulder shooter used. Other steps include publishing model red flag legislation for states, which permits courts to temporarily block people from obtaining guns if they're a danger to themselves or others. California already has an elaborate red flag law, investing in community violence interventions and asking the DOJ to release a report on firearms trafficking.
One that will take into account the fact that modern guns are not simply cast or forged anymore, but can also be made of plastic, printed on a 3D printer, or sold in self-assembly kits.
The president acknowledged he needs Congress in order to pass more significant gun control measures, a tall order. He said atop his wish list is removing liability protections for gun makers.
The only industry in America, a billion-dollar industry, that can't be sued, has exempt from being sued, are gun manufacturers.
In a tweet, the National Rifle Association called the actions extreme and said it was ready to fight the measures. They also criticized Biden's nominee to head the ATF. David Chipman is a veteran of the agency and a gun control advocate.
And Vice President Harris and I believe he's the right person at this moment for this important agency.
Now, Chipman could face major challenges getting confirmed by a divided Senate. This afternoon, Governor Gavin Newsom released a statement cheering the actions by the Biden administration and saying he's proud California has the strongest gun laws in the nation. Reporting live, Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.